there, it's Barb from TGI Stamp Day. Today I just want to give you a couple of tips and tricks on heat embossing. On the screen here I've got some of the essential tools for heat embossing. The Stampin' Up! Heat tool, of course. And great things about this, it's got a stand, it's got a guard on the tip. It's a plastic guard so you don't risk touching the hot metal. And this is the switch on and off. I love, it's not nearly as loud as my old embosser, and it's actually got two settings. So if you ever want to heat dry something, it's got an option for that too, which I do use. It's awesome. Okay, the embossing buddy, I'll explain that later. Our embossing powder, which of course we need. The Versamark ink pad, which you have some options when it comes to embossing, so I'll fill you in on that as I get stamping. And this is just some kitchen tongs, silicone rubber, and I use those. It was a tip given to me by Shirley. When I need to emboss something, I can just hold the paper with these tongs. My hand's nice and far away so it doesn't get too hot, and these grip really, really well. So that's part of it. With our new firm foam pad, the ink doesn't dry right away, so, and it's juicy enough that the powder will stick. So one of the first things that you need to do before you stamp on your paper is use the embossing buddy. The embossing buddy comes in a little baggie like this. I've had mine for ages, and it's just this little pouch, and looks like nothing, and it's kind of got powder that comes out. But all you do is you rub it on your paper before you stamp, because what it does is it takes the static away. What you're going to want to use is Versamark ink. Now I have also heard that with our new firm foam pads that they are juicy enough and you get enough ink on your paper that you can actually use that with your embossing powder too. The whole point of using the ink is that when you put the powder on, let me show you here. I'm going to use this butterfly from Papillon Potpourri. Okay, I'm going to stamp that on there, and I need to make sure I get my powder on before the ink dries. Now, I have been told, I thought this is brilliant, is that what the embossing powder actually is little tiny bits of plastic. So when you heat emboss, you're actually melting the plastic. And that makes a lot of sense when you understand how it works. And hopefully you can see when it starts to change. I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell on the video. But you just have to watch closely, and you should see the powder start to turn glossy. The antennae are going there. And now that once you know that it's melting, it makes sense. You want to see it all melted together. And of course you don't want to do it too long because you'll warp the paper, scorch it. But that should do it. You see how that's all? There we go. All right, we're gonna try some iridescent ice embossing, and we're gonna do it on Lucky Limeade. Okay, we'll use our butterfly image again with the Versamark. Ink that up. Just gonna stamp that down here. Get the powder on. As best as I can, get it back in the bottle. Of course, I forgot to use my embossing buddy. Oh, it's already so pretty. Love it. Okay, let's emboss it though. What it's gonna do is it's gonna make it even shinier when I emboss and set that glitter on there as well. And you can see that the ink is turning darker. It kind of brings in the color of the cardstock. Basically, it's clear embossing powder with glitter in it. So look at that. Can you see that? Awesome. Beautiful. Okay. The last one I want to show you is silver embossing powder. I think it's awesome. It's my favorite. I find it the most thrilling. And so let's see what that does. Get my embossing buddy on here. Okay. Stamp our butterfly down. Silver gets used a lot at Christmas time, as you can imagine. A little bit in the corner. I missed. Okay. Good stuff. Get that out of the way. My handy dandy tongs, and away we go. Can you start to see it? Oh, it's beautiful. There we go. Okay. Gorgeous. I'm going to just zoom in a bit on that. Because I want to show you this little technique that I saw was pointed out to me. I didn't notice it in the spring catalog, but it was, pointed out to me, and I thought it was brilliant. So I've got, just in this little tray, I've put some champagne shimmer paint, and I'm going to use my aqua painter. Okay, and I'm just going to get some of the shimmer paint, pick it up with my aqua painter. If you look at the spring catalog, where the page with the swallowtail stamp, they have shown this technique with pool party embossing powder. And I'm just going to color, or paint, I should say, on top of this image. And it's really cool because then the shimmer paint gets in between. It doesn't really stay on the embossing, on the embossed areas, but it does, oh, beautiful. It gets in between all the bits of the cardstock. That's really gorgeous, especially with that silver. So this is an example of when I would heat set something. Fun. All right, so give it a try and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.
If you wanna play, make it a better place.